Hello, hello, and welcome back to Reverse 1999. So, today we are gonna go ahead and do um Marsha's character quest in the name of Chivalry. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what happens. We're guessing we can see more backstory about her, which it's probably going to be sad and depressing if the snippets we got from the main story there's anything to go about. So, how about we take a look, shall we? Old bandages, the scent of blood, an inescapable gloom, ancient oaths converge in future duty. Bring light where there is darkness, bring comfort where there is pain. Okay, let's take a look at the survey, shall we? She is shield, lingering glow, and support. I have. Oh, I need the child. Honestly, it's the only character I don't have, and she's kind of important for most builds, which is kind of crazy. All right, so I'll just pour one of each. Let's go for buffs.
Restraint is part of the training. I can hear it. Let me handle the pain.
The tremors of fate.
Peace and quiet. A necessary counterattack.
Okay. I haven't actually seen her ultimate, so that's gonna be interesting.
Oh, get it.
Oi! This ain't your letter!
Huh. She has a very powerful shield, huh? Okay, I can definitely see their synergies working well. Alright. Let's see what your ultimate is.
It is here. I can hear it. Dérive dans le flot des séphirotes. I will remember your name.
Okay.
Mon officier n'est pas un capitaine.
Prey caught in the woven net.
Peace and quiet.
Okay, okay.
Sacred charge. Oh, the stamp's fallen off.
Damn.
A glimpse.
Just another shift. It's what I'm good at.
It is here.
Cet entour révèle les séphirotes.
And yeah, most of them are dead.
Get out of you! Up and at it!
Okay.
Peace and quiet.
Yep, they're dead. Oh yeah. One's okay.
Ich schwör.
Yes, I got this.
Dérive dans le flot des séphirotes.
Just another
Restraint is part of the
Alright, that
training.
should do it, I think.
I will remember your name.
Ah, close. No, there we go. She definitely has interesting gameplay, I will say. Alright, let's go in. Oh man, yeah, we're already starting off depressing, huh? Alright, let me see. It's 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's as usual. Alright, on the inside. I have no idea how to pronounce that, but it looks like a monastery.
Marsha, lege feierlich diesen Eid vor meinen Brüdern des Orden ab. Ich gelobe Treue und Gehorsam, allen Besitz zu entsagen, für meine Brüder zu sorgen und den Orden niemals zu verlassen.
Okay, so it's her taking her vows, huh?
Ich gelobe, den Hochlandorden in Ehren zu halten, ihn treu zu verteidigen und meine Pflichten mit unerschütterlicher Hingabe zu erfüllen.
Okay, so it's pronounced Hochland.
Ich gelobe, diesen Eid ohne Trug zu wahren, den Gesetzen der Tugend zu folgen und den Rat meiner Brüder zu ehren, bis zum Tage meines Todes.
A hand rests on her shoulder, bringing with it the weight of enormous responsibilities. In the name of our sacred order, with the blessing of the Lord above, we accept your oath. We bestow upon you these gifts, bread, pure water, and your robes. She puts her hands together and allows the heavy cloak to settle on her shoulders. Another weight shifts onto a cloak, a hand. From today onward, we will walk the path of a knight.
It is more of a burden than an honor, Marsha.
You will learn that it's much of a burden as an honor, Marsha.
I understand.
She clutches her hand together, feeling the warm moisture on her palms. We're in the foundation now. The knight folds her hands once more. A rare peace settles over the safe zone, yet it does little to soothe the dead and dying.
Hear my prayer.
Brothers and sisters, you have proven your courage to this day. Do not fear the darkness, I shall pray for you. May you rest in peace and in the light. She finishes her prayers and opens her eyes, composing herself once more. Since their long retreat, they've been forced to tend to the heavily wounded on the move, but for every soldier they save, another succumbs to infection. So many lives lost needlessly. If only had proper facilities or just clean bandages. She lets out a heavy sigh. Marsha moves to comfort her. You've done all you could, Marjorie.
There's no need.
Every life is precious, but it's not on our hands to decide who lives and who dies. Sister Marsha, Commander Kreas is asking for you. I'm on my way. Marsha looks over at the dressing station once more before she leaves. Okay, so it's a bit of a background and something else.
Commander Kreas.
I received a report from the Razor Squad. They said they encountered a Hochland knight in Sen, not far from front lines.
Do you mean?
Someone from my order. It seems so. Razor has attempted to contact, but she made it clear she has no intention of evacuating. I need to go to Sen and find out what's going on. We've temporarily put Manus Vindicta on the back foot, but it's only a matter of time until they come back in force. We can't have these sorts of loose ends blunting our efforts. I do believe you may be the bridge, the gap between the Foundation and our former comrade and your former comrade.
I'll do my best.
I'll do what I can. But the dressing station. Whoops. We're moving as many wounded as we can to the rear tomorrow. The real hospitals. They'll see proper care. There's a train in Sen in 2 hours. You're to leave as soon as possible. Understood, sir. The knight touches her pauldrons as she leaves the office.
I'm glad.
It's been so long. She feels a wave of relief, but it's soon tinged with anxiety. Yeah. What is she doing there, huh? That's straight set, huh? The train pulls into the station with a long whistle. Marsha feels the tension in her neck relax a little as she steps off with the rest of the crowd.
Marsha.
Marsha, you're finally here. Razor stands waiting for Marsha at the station, a look of pain, helplessness, and written across his face.
What is it?
Mr. Razor, please inform me of the situation in full. You were told about the knight that refused to speak with us, correct? Well, there's another problem. We've gotten word of extensive movement from Manus Vindicta in the region. An offensive, perhaps, or at the very least a sizable troop redeployment.
But...
Orders are to clear the area of all civilians, but your old comrade. She refused to budge. He shakes his head begrudgingly.
Why?
She won't evacuate. Do you have any idea why? I think that's something only you can figure out. But if her replies are any indication, she seems to intend on fighting Manus Vindicta.
What?
By herself. What? That seems entirely unreasonable.
Exactly.
Now you see why we wanted you. You know that the Knight of the Hochland Order are powerful. You're living proof of their capabilities. But we can't just let her charge alone against the menace. It'll put our operations here at risk. And we don't want unnecessary bloodshed. Our vows are sacred commitment. It's little wonder she would want to fight. Still, I don't understand why someone from my order would refuse to cooperate.
What happened?
There must be some reason she's being so stubborn. I wonder what she's after. Marsha keeps that question in mind as she takes her leave from Razor and walks from the station into the city. Okay. Let's see what is the problem with her. Where we stand now. Oh, okay. Oh wait, I'm not ready. Activate the objects within the designated time. Stage objects are shown here. Emotion weight shown, number weight of emotions. Move your... Oh, damn it. This is clearly designed with a touchscreen in mind. Sen has already seen the full brunt of arcane warfare. Their after effects running in the streets were into a twisted mockery of their former existence. But the Foundation succeeded in getting most of the population out before the fighting got too close, leaving the area like a strange, lifeless moonscape. According to Mr. Razor, the night should be somewhere around here. Marsha stands in the crossroads, taking stock of her surroundings. Closed doors, dark storefronts, occasional life stirs in the form of passing refugees treasuring their most treasured possessions towards the evacuation points. Has she already left? I don't think so. Stas, wait! The shout comes from the end of the street. Marsha turns, alert and ready for danger. But no sooner does she turn than a tiny form slams into her leg. Watch it, lady. Don't you know there's a war coming? The boy tumbles out from the streets along with his felt hat and everything he's holding. Thank you for the translation. Excuse me, is everything alright, young man? Are you hurt at all? Marsha crouches down to inspect the boy. Leave me alone, Mama's going to catch me. The boy gathers his things in a rush.
Hold on.
Hold on. She grabs the boy just as he's about to run, nearly causing him to stumble again. His mother runs towards them, out of breath.
What happened?
Can I call you that? What happened? Why are you running around here? This place isn't safe. You should go home to your mother. The boy twists with all his strength to break free from Marsha, his thin face flushing. Seeing that he can't escape, his shoulders slump in frustration. I just want to deliver a gift. A gift? Phew, you little brat. The boy's mother at last catches up, puffing with both exasperation and exhaustion, and gives him a head smack. Thank you so much, madam. I swear, I look away for just 1 second and he starts charging into trouble. I wasn't charging into trouble, I had to deliver my gift. You always tell me to keep my word, well, that's what I'm doing. There's no time for that. What if we miss the evacuation train? The boy pouts, but he has no argument.
Don't worry.
Would you let me know what's going on here? Please, don't worry. I'm on a mission from the San Pablo Foundation. Marsha points to the badge on her chest.
I'll do my best.
If it's something as simple as delivering a gift, perhaps I can help. Really? The boy wrings himself free and offers Marsha the item he had been carrying. Is this a shield? The construction is somewhat rudimentary, made from welded steel and with an old belt for a strap. But it's on the smaller side, not only as long as your forearm, but its purpose is unmistakable. A red paint twists in the shape across its rough surface. It's difficult to make sense of it, but it seems to portray a silhouette of a building on a hill. Metal Stas has a little bit of bad fever. With all the things here, we worried we wouldn't be able to get him to a doctor, but we came across this woman. Oh, she was wearing armor just like yours. The one points towards Marsha's pauldrons, a bit surprised. She shields Stas, and to repay her kindness, he wanted to give her a shield to match her armor. My husband, he helped to make it from an old bucket. With the evacuation order and all the packing, we hadn't had time to give it to her. We put it away for later. But when Stas happened to find it, and since then, I hadn't had a moment's peace.
Do you mean?
The sigil on the shield is meant to be a castle on a hill. That's right, are you? Yes, a fellow member of of her order. I'm looking for her. Have you any idea where she is? And did you happen to get her name? Hmm. Within an old but tidy house, the kettle begins to roll and cry with steam. A woman in knightly armor sits on a wooden chair, cleaning her helmet with care. It bears the scratches and scuffs of untold number of battles, yet it has clearly been meticulously maintained. A knock at the door breaks the rhythm of her work. Who is it? Sister Adelheid, are you there? The sound is soft and faint, filtered by the door, but Adelheid feels her heart skip.
Adelheid.
It's me, Marsha, Adelheid, okay. Yeah, it's the knight that rescued her from the snow we saw in the main story. It's a voice she could never mistake. Her palms feel numb as she moves towards the door and almost involuntarily jars it open. The face she sees behind the door is both everything she feared and hoped for. A face she once thought gone and buried, a face that elicits grief and sorrow in every reflection, but now all she feels is joy.
I'm glad.
Adelheid, it really is you. I'm so glad. The woman in front of her is tired, maybe from a long journey, but breathing radiantly warm. Not a skeleton or some revenant or nightmare. Living, breathing at her doorstep. Right, didn't Marsha fake her own death so she could escape the get away from the French army?
Marsha?
It's a miracle. Marsha, you're here, you're alive. She nearly leaps towards her, her hands stretched outward, but she freezes in place, from shock and awe, or fear she can't say. Yet Marsha reaches and pulls her into a warm embrace.
Adelheid.
Yes, Adelheid. I survived the Dead Man's Hill. I'm so glad you did as well. It's a true blessing being able to reunite with thee in these times of war. Adelheid lets out a long-drawn breath and lessens into the hug before breaking it for him with a reassuring pat.
Yes.
Come inside. The winter has come early this year. I better not let the chill in. I have something for you. A gift for thanks from Stas. The rough shield is delivered to the knight as promised. Adelheid takes it and turns it in her hand. I will have to give him a proper thank you, should we ever chance to meet again. His family has done me a great service to help me find this place.
However...
But Marsha, I must know, how did you manage to survive? The question is asked alongside an offered cup of tea. The curling steam masks the betrayal at the heart of their answer. I was injured during the fight, but when I went down, I thought perhaps I would die. But my armor had saved me from the worst of the damage. I used my training and waited. I just laid still, sealing away every thought and pain in my body until a medical team from the Foundation discovered me. I recovered under their care. But your armor... This was all that was salvageable after the medics cut me free, but I could never fully part with it. Not that it mattered much. Armor's more of a hindrance than an aid in the battlefield now. Yeah. We have always clung to our traditions, perhaps even after they were no longer of use. She studies Marsha as she speaks, taking out of her uniform beneath the pauldrons. No longer a knight, but a soldier. Not a soldier either. A nurse's frock. And on its new uniform, an unexpected badge. One she immediately recognizes with a stir of aversion.
Why?
Adelheid, why are you out here alone? Where are the other members of our order? Adelheid takes a long sip of her tea, as if trying to swallow down the question she hasn't yet found the courage to ask.
The Order...
A lot has happened to the Order. I suppose, first of all, I am now the acting Grand Master. In the event of a Grand Master's death, the role is passed to the knight with the highest seniority until a new leader is confirmed. Neither needs to be reminded of the other in this plain fact.
What?
What happened to Master Herman? It's as you fear, he's dead. Marsha can't help but draw a sharp breath.
What happened?
How? When did it happen? Less than a month ago. I heard nothing about it.
Back then,
Surely you know what Manus Vindicti rose out from the shadows, that they've unleashed this war unto all of humanity ready to face consequences of the manipulation. But their earlier infiltration was deeper than anyone had known. Every communication network has been compromised or crippled, including ours. You have been away from the Order for too long, so natural that you wouldn't know. Marsha tightens her grip on the cup. There's a needle-like accusation in her words. Master Herman led for more than a decade. Though as a young novice, the later knight, she had little direct contact with him. But she knew that all young knights from the Order did, that Herman was a model of chivalry. Brave, loyal, strict, and maybe a little too rigid, but a man worth looking up to. How did he die? The idea that a man of such virtue and wisdom was gone, that he had fallen in some godforsaken battlefield, twists her heart. He was killed in our very own castle. Whether it was whoever did it framed things to look like an act suicide, but I saw this in my own eyes. There was a struggle in that room.
however...
Yet the Order was under pressure from the government. The others decided to brush the investigation under the rug rather than face the possibilities that we were being compromised, like the army. I went through his letters and diaries. He already noticed the shadows of Manus Vindicti operating within our ranks. Master Herman was loyal to his oaths and to us. He must have been attempting to expose them.
The Order...
But even so, once the military involvement with the Manus was revealed, things started to fall apart. There was only one thing that all of us realized. We had been betrayed. With the armistice coming, we withdrew from the fighting to determine what to do next. But even as we left the front, the division began to show. Some wanted to return to Halsh's Skuld and build into an independent state, to carve out their own personal kingdom, as it was in the ancient past.
I disagree.
Had they learned nothing from the war? Now there are mounted knights supposed to rule in the time of machine guns and tanks.
Yes.
I think they understood the futility. Maybe they even realized how foolish they were being. But when all else falls apart, people return to nostalgia and tradition. They faced with a bleak future and chose to relive an idyllic past. But there's a greater tragedy. Manus Vindicti had beaten the main force home. They ransacked the castle, killed its defenders, and left it in ruins. Adelheid puts her cup down. The bottom clicks in as it hits the table. Centuries of wealth accumulated by our Order, and all the rewards its glory was gone. Our treasures are doubtless being melted down for fuel in their schemes. Marsha closed her eyes. She knows every room, every corner, every pillar of that castle. It was her home. She imagines all those familiar things being torn down, stripped, sold for parts, and melted into scrap. A firestorm of anger and humiliation wells up inside her, but years of training kick in, and she covers herself with her arcane skill. I hope the castle stealth will be restored. The emotions fall away, and the reasons take over. Something clicks in her mind. Is that why you haven't left this place? Adelheid lips curve.
Marsha.
Ah, so. Then you have come to me on behalf of your foundation. Okay. The first lesson. Marsha falls silent. She looks at Adelheid, and Adelheid looks back, measuring her. I won't deny that I was sent here by them. Then at the very least you have not sacrificed your honesty along with the rest of your sacred vows. Ooh, man. I would never lie to you or deceive another of our Order, least of all you.
But...
There's no contradiction between my mission and my loyalty to you. Adelheid, you raised me. The Order gave me a home and purpose. I will always care for you and the safety of our people. She chooses each word carefully but sincerely. Her mentor held a long silence, leaving only the sound of the windows rattling at the wind. At last, she breaks the quiet with attention.
Hmm.
In 2 days, a convoy from Marsha Vindicate will pass through Rejoa, carrying what they are stolen from us. As acting Grand Master, I cannot allow them to escape with their plunder, not after failing to prevent the raid in the first place. I will not allow this opportunity to pass undertaken. But Maris Vindicti has weapons enhanced with arcane skills. You're only one knight. You can't do this alone. The danger is too great. Maybe you can work together. Maybe you can work together with the Foundation so that...
Danger.
Adelheid repeats the word under her breath like a rebuke. They killed Master Herman and violated the sanctity of our home. If our vows mean anything at all, I must answer to these transgressions. To leave without avenging it.
Dies ist die schwerste Gefahr, der sich ein Ritter stellen kann.
The order may be much diminished, but we are not so base as bureaucrats to fight our battles. Adelheid's words land with weight. Her expression is cold in point of fact. The warmth and joy she has shown to Marsha is gone. Now she speaks to her as she would, and certainly has, to any other St. Pablo Foundation employee. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have brought it up. The pale sunlight outside the window cuts deep shadows across Adelheid's face. But Marsha notices something that cold attachment and pulls her friend's closed fist into her hands. Marsha. Anger, sadness, and disappointment begin to pass through their interlaced fingers into the young knight. The older woman exhales, relieved. Her emotions, too long dammed up, are now passed into another's hand. Huh. Observe all emptiness emotions. Ah, damn it, it's this. Right. Oh my god, it's such a pain he has to control. So I can use the... Oh, I can use WASD, that's a lot better actually. So this is like that one game that you know the one, right? You collect things, you get bigger, and then you attack other guys. There we go, see? Oh, we also get slower, but that's fine, really. Need 150. That's enough for this one. Just need one more. We need to capture a few more of these. Two more. There we go. Alright, there we go.
You've borne too heavy a burden, Adelheid.
You are sworn to carry each other's burdens. You may doubt me, but I have not forgotten my vows. Those words make us sisters, and I will never forsake that bond. She can feel Adelheid's emotions spin over her the words. A rush of anger, pain, and sorrow floods between them.
Well then.
You say remember our teachings, but do you not remember the danger in taking in another's emotions? It is the last resort, one used only in times of great peril. Did I fail to impress that lesson onto you too? Marsha smiles, feeling like the clueless young novice she once was, with a rush of embarrassment, and guilt, and also affection.
But...
You taught me to put the needs of my comrades above all other things. That includes sharing their pain and their duty. So allow me to fight with you. If we stand together, we may stand a chance at succeeding. I won't leave you to fight this battle alone, sister. I don't presume to think I could tell you no. You've never listened to a word I've said. Marsha looks up at her mentor, feeling a hot flush of pride pass through her. We leave at dawn. Okay, we're beating up the menace who stole the treasure, huh? No, we're still going. The crashing of waves in the rocky shore does its best to drown out little whimpers below.
Marsha.
I knew I'd find you here, Marsha. The young girl looks up, her face streaked with tears.
What's going on?
It was the other novices again, wasn't it? Marsha wipes her tears with her sleeve, but the spray of seawater has left her robes too damp to dry her face. What should I do, master? Adelheid lowers herself to the rocky precipice along with her. What do you think you should do, Sister Marsha? I try to leave them alone and just do what I'm told, but...
I'm afraid
No.
not.
A warm broad hand brushes the girl's tears. She looks up at her cage to take her confused. They upset you because you allowed them. You showed them fear and they seized it. Wolves do not strike a standing deer. The hunt begins only after they put them to flight. Then, be a stag in the forest. When they push you, show no fear. Turn your antlers on them, fight back. But you're taller than me and stronger. Strength will come as you train. Height too, as long as you remember to eat your vegetables.
Show everyone that you won't be trampled underfoot.
They may howl and bark, you may even lose a few battles, but you must show them above all else.
You have the courage to fight back.
You are to be a knight, Sister Marsha. A true knight does not falter, nor does she pout. Adelheid offers a reassuring pat on her young girl's shoulder. I know, I want to become a true knight, brave and strong. She says the words with both innocence and ambition. The waves crash against the rock, again like a drumming of a coming battle. Huh. Marsha opens her eyes in the dark room. The only thing she can see is the faint metallic shimmer of light glinting off her pauldrons. Good, I don't need to wake you. By the window, Adelheid is already packing. Stas' shield is fastened in her waist. Marsha lets out a long breath. Please wait, Adelheid. I'll be ready in a minute. Soon, Marsha shoulders her first aid crate and heads out with Adelheid. I wonder how this will turn out. I wonder if Adelheid will survive this. Stage 4, the second lesson. The two knights begin their journey across the water-torn countryside and reach Rejoa by nightfall. They stop at the outskirts of the town, already dilapidated before the war, a maze of hostile ruins and empty buildings. Their convoy should pass through here this time or tomorrow. The roads narrow here before passing through the town center. I will force them to slow and move in a single file. This is where we launch our attack. Adelheid surveys their surrounding and points to the only path leading through the town. The house here is all abandoned. Most left in a hurry. There should still be some things left behind. We can borrow this house from the knight. Marsha walks to the back of the house and examines it carefully. Under the leaves, strings of dried nettle and yarrow sway in the wind. Marsha touches them, sweeping the dust away.
I can hardly believe it.
As if they should give me the leave to come with me. I've reported back to my commander and to Mr. Razor. At any rate, my task was to convince you to leave the Sen. Our state is an interpretation of those orders. She doesn't respond. The brisk wind passing through the old town rises to fill the void.
Marsha,
I'm truly glad you survived.
you've broken your vow.
But I still don't understand your decision. Why didn't you ever attempt to contact us? Why would you want to leave our order? I shall never forsake the order, nor shall I hold fealty to another. Marsha had made those solemn oaths the day she became a knight. She had been waiting for the questions, accusations even, but then when they arrived she found out that Adelhei's voice was far gentler than she expected.
I could not bear to take another soldier's life.
So she became a nurse, huh? The path of knighthood should not be the one endless slaughter in the battlefields. If I returned to the order, if I had stayed the night, I would have been forced to kill, fight, and die. And absolute loyalty to the order and unquestioning obedience to its authority, that was the demand made on those who swore its oath. And one of the few she ever doubted. I've dealt with this foundation of yours before. I made their intentions seem noble and they have done some good, yet I also know they've been recruiting soldiers and amassing military strength.
I'm afraid not.
Your foundation will soon command an army, moving between countries and acting according to their own authority. An organization with no oversight and no accountability. In many ways, they are as dangerous as Manus Vindictae. Now, you're not wrong. I agree entirely.
But
But I have chosen to put my faith in them, in what my own eyes have seen in their work. And with the Foundation, I am free to do the work I believe in, to save lives, not end them. I can do as much good with them as I ever could before. Her mentor shakes her head, refuelly.
I cannot approve that.
What you've done is without precedent in our order.
I understand.
Really? Nobody left the order? It's the first time? Marsha doesn't rush to persuade her, she only focuses on what could matter most to her. I never truly abandoned my vows the night, and worry for the sake of the order.
Adelheid.
What are you going to do, Master? The woman pauses, composing her thoughts and visions from the future. After I reclaimed our treasure relics and returned them, I will begin to search for all our scattered knights. I don't know what comes after that. I'll allow our future to unwind as it will. Though I'm certain it does not include setting up our own feudal state of an old castle. Marsha notices the confusion in Adelheid's words. Grandmaster, may I share my thoughts with you? Yes.
I want to rebuild the Hochland Order as a humanitarian medical relief organization. That way, our knights can be freed from further bloodshed and return to the Order's greater purpose.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. I wonder how Adelheid will see it. She gives way to the young knight's words, whether out of respect or genuine consideration.
I cannot approve that.
That's not who we are, sister. Marsha has expected her mentor's reluctance, but she purses her lips and doesn't back down. Adelheid, please consider the possibilities. I have given this a great deal of thought.
I still remember.
Since joining the Foundation and assisting people as a medic and a nurse, I've had a chance to reflect on the things that you've taught me. You've told me yourself that our order is founded as a place of healing for wounded soldiers and victims of war. Couldn't that be true again? Adelheid goes blank. The familiar look of forcefully suppressed emotions crosses her face when she simply turns and walks into the nearby house. Oh man, it's late. We need to rest. Marsha remains outside the door and lifts her gaze. Low clouds drift overhead like the palms of a giant, ready to close in, offering no escape. More memories? Alright, what's going on now? Marsha limps into the castle. Her figure looks small beneath the towering columns. A shadow falls over her, swallowing her entirely. Adelheid? The knight wears a stern expression. She seems to have been waiting for some time. I watched your training today. You were ordered to fall back, yet you chose to stay behind and hauled off the pursuers. Yes, ma'am. What was your reason? They were wounded. Someone had to buy them some time. Our whole team might have been caught. And you believe your sacrifice would guarantee their escape. Mission accomplished. Is that correct? Yes, ma'am. And did you buy them enough time? No, ma'am. After I died, the pursuers caught up with the rest of the team. Her heroic sacrifice ended up prematurely, death by a blunted spear. She was declared dead and put out of the fight. You stayed behind alone, without any cover, without a plan. All you ended up doing was throwing your life away. The young knight is struck by her master's criticism, but she steels herself and defends her choice. Then the problem was our choice of evacuation route.
But
If we had attempted the other mountain pass, where the path was narrow, I would have been able to buy them enough time.
this is my choice.
A true knight would never be afraid of death in the service of duty. She looks at to Adelheid, staring straight into her eyes, lips pressed into a hard line.
What if...
And what if there is no narrow path next time? What if you cannot guarantee your sacrifice will mean anything at all?
Marsha.
You think I don't know you, child? You wouldn't have made a difference. You're always acted recklessly. You volunteered to man the battering ram without even knowing how it works. You're the first to the front of every shield wall, and the first to leap at every fight.
You were too bold. It seemed as if you would not accept any fate except that of a martyr.
Her tone is self-critical, but she softens as she leans towards Marsha.
I understand.
I know you're eager to prove yourself. You want to show your worth of your vows with some great act of sacrifice. You want people to forget that you're just some lost orphan discarded in the snow.
Marsha.
That's what you are. Instead of valiant knight, a fighter worth celebrating through the ages. Is that right, Marsha? Marsha freezes, her face flushing hot, her deepest desire to be laid bare with complete precision. Yes, that's true.
However...
You replaced your fear with bravado, but you haven't learned to use your courage effectively, making you foolhardy. Adelheid turns and motions to Marsha to follow.
Adelheid.
Where are we going? Their footsteps echo through the empty hallway. Time seems to slip away in the rhythmic sea echoes. A new lesson. Something just as important as bravery. Yes?
Cherish your life.
Oh man. Recklessness doesn't just waste your courage, it puts your comrades in danger as well. Marsha, do you know why the Hochland Order was founded?
I still remember.
You've told me before, it was created to send the wounded soldiers. I think it's time I teach you its history in detail. Adelheid stops and opens the library door behind them. The night is dark, not a single light or star illuminates the space but beyond her view. Marsha listens to the rustling that pulled her from her sleep. Someone has slipped inside the middle of the night and is rummaging around for something. But all invisible in the darkness, she can spy Adelheid stirring awake. Without exchanging a word, they both continue to find her asleep, waiting for the intruder to come closer.
Shoot!
Damn it, nothing here. Shh, don't wake them up. The low whispers come from the two men. They creep towards the cabinet above the knight's head. Maybe that's what they're after. It's not here. We have to get back. Before he can finish the sentence, the frightened man suddenly realizes he can't move. His body is pinned to the floor. He turns his head with difficulty, only to see a gun pressed against his partner's head. Oh wait, we're only looking for medicine. We didn't mean any harm. The red-haired woman tightens the grip on his wrist. Medicine. Who are you? Okay. As their shield, huh? Marsha pressed a piece of gauze to the man's cheek, a cut from the rough wall she pushed him into. Adelheid holsters a pistol and folds her arms, listening to the other man. My name is Mikhail, and the man who you've pinned against the wall is my comrade Alexei. We're from nearby, Dorovka. Are you soldiers? Yes, we were in Brest when the armistice was signed. At first we were sent back to recover in the hospital in town, but then things started to fall apart. We've been looking for these old buildings for medical supplies, anything we could use to help the wounded there. We thought maybe you could bring them back something before we got out of here. The hospital is really desperate for supplies.
What happened?
To the hospital. Miguel glances between Marsha and Adelheid, and his eyes brighten when he notices a badge on Marsha's chest. A few days ago, there was a chatter that the Menace Vindicta was launching an attack, but no one took it seriously. We thought they were on the run. Then they hit us in force. Just a few days, they overran what left of the army and seized control of all supply routes. Now they're squeezing the life out of every last pocket of resistance. We know they've hit the Dorovka any day now. They'll hit it, I mean. But there's no way to evacuate the wounded safely. Ma'am, you're from the St. Cloud Foundation, aren't you? I recognize your badge. Miguel's pleading gaze on Marsha says he cannot. That's correct. Mikhail, do you know how many people are still in the hospital? About 100. Most of the wounded are too weak to move, along with the doctors and nurses. What will happen if Menace Vindicta surrounds the hospital? The scenario plays out in Marsha's mind to its inevitable end.
Don't worry.
I'll contact the Foundation and send, explain the situation and request immediate support. But they won't have time to get there before the Menace. Before then. Marsha looks at Adelheid. Her head is dipped heavy with the thoughts of her own. Mikhail, I need to discuss this with my comrade.
I'll do my best.
If possible, I will join you at the hospital and can do what I can to assist you until the Foundation arrives. Thank you. Behind him, Adelheid opened the door and briefly stepped outside. Outside the house, Adelheid removes the little shield hanging at the waist. The thin metal has a rough weld, never properly polished, and even edges sting her at her palm as she turns it in her hand.
What if...
By this time tomorrow, we have reclaimed our stolen relics. All the wealth and history of our order lies just out of grasp. The thin morning light turns the distant horizon pale. Whoops.
But
By the time tomorrow, the hospital and all its people inside may be nothing more than a charred ruin.
Adelheid,
These people need our help. Adelheid frowns, yet her eyes can't help tracing the simple stroke painted across the shield. Stas never has seen their home. He has no idea what home's soul actually looks like. But to Adelheid's words, it seems he imagined it of an unyielding tower that stood atop a mountain for 1,000 years. A castle where generations of knights lived, fighting for justice in the service of the weak and the needy. The place she has left before coming to Sen, where she had met a boy in need of help, a boy who painted this tall and noble tower. Losing those relics has laid our shame bare to the whole world. As acting Grand Master, I failed to stop them. I was derelict in my most sacred duty. Now I have a chance to right this injustice. I cannot allow them to escape. You're gonna come around, I'm guessing. If the Order is to survive, we must reclaim these priceless treasures. Adelheid looks down the road towards the town center, conflict tightening in her expression.
you shall be the shield that protects the weak.
Adelheid replies with a dry bitter laugh. We always recite those words at the code of chivalry and the knight's vows before we march.
Whether to defend a knight's honor or save precious lives, such things ought not be weighed against one another. However...
Yet here we are, forced to decide. Marsha walks up to her mentor and comrade in arms.
Adelheid,
Remind me, Sister Adelheid, why did you receive this shield? She replies with a sharp glare, deep in turmoil.
back then,
A boy lingered in Death's hand, sick with a deadly fever, but I cured him. In turn, I suppose he wanted to protect me. It may not be the equal to our greatest relics, but it was given with noble intention. Neither need to say the obvious. A bullet would pass through this thin sheet of metal like it was paper, but Adelheid planned to carry it into battle all the same. Our vows were always been in service of people like him, without expectation of reward.
but
The single act of mercy is more worthy of our vows than 1,000 gilded relics and chests of looted gold. That shield is proof of our honor as a knight. I don't see a dilemma at all. Marsha's voice is soft and rustling glass. She knows she's challenging everything her mentor has ever held dear, but she cannot let it go unsaid. If we miss this opportunity, there may never be another chance to reclaim what we've lost. But the Order has a long way ahead. Long enough for us to restore its glory and fill its empty castle once more. Let us begin with that rusty shield. Let us be the sign of what is to be a true knight. Marsha stands firm. She can sense her old master hesitating. All she needs is a little gentle push. Yet, for as much as it might herald a new beginning, the tower and their shield is also a reminder of their roots.
you've changed.
I remember when you were the one who couldn't wait to face the enemy, leaping at your death towards instead of falling back to care for the wounded. Marsha smiles softly.
I just hope that the changes I have gone through will lead me to a brighter future.
War changes us. It changes everything. In a way, it cannot be undone. But I must believe in the change I went through have a purpose. With 2 horsemen knights in their defense, the hospital may just hold out until the foundation support arrives. Marsha exhales in relief. Thank you, Adelheid. She smiles and then takes out her communicator. Mr. Razor, have an emergency. Adelheid gives the shield one last glance before fastening it back on her waist. See, she was convinced. The four of them waste no time to reach Dorovka in noon. They can spy the hospital from the end of the road. But something else comes into view as well. Rising smoke. Damn it! They're already here.
Hold on.
Wait, Alexei. Marsha grabs the soldier just before he begins to charge. She fixes her focus on the distant scene. The smoke isn't coming from the hospital. It's ringing outside. They're still fighting. Huh? What's that? In the bright flame of exploding grenades, hardened steel flashes silver, and horses pant and whiny as they pound across the concrete. That can only be the order. They're here. They're fighting Menace Vindictor. Adelaide's voice lifts with each word.
What?
Then there were other knights nearby. After the initial shock, Marsha nearly cries out in joy and relief. Hurry, let's move. She releases Alexei. They begin to dash towards the battle. Adelheid follows a few steps behind. She can see Marsha from the back. All of a sudden, it seems as if they're at foolhardy goal once more. But then the wind lifts the edge of her grayish-green coat, revealing a glimpse of her nurse's uniform beneath. Oh, that's kind of cool. The knights went to defend the hospital. Glad to see the knights still remember their vows, huh? The unexpected arrival of a dozen knights in the Hochland order catches the splinter force of Menace Vindictor completely off guard. Outside the hospital, the knights mop up, ensuring the threat is completely neutralized.
Mr. Reza.
The hospital is safe. We've run the menace off for now, thanks to the Hochland order. I need to speak with the head of the hospital and assess our situation.
Reinforcements will arrive soon.
Your requested reinforcement are still en route. Even if Menace wasn't a threat for now, the hospital needs to be evacuated. Understood. Just as Marsha finishes her report, she's suddenly pulled into a warm, excited embrace. Oh, then you're new. Hildegard. Ah, my dear Marsha, you're alive. A familiar face brightens on her like a golden sun. Her childhood sparring partner leaps towards her with a beaming smile. Marsha hugs her back just as tightly.
I'm glad.
Yes, Hilda, I'm alive. I'm so glad we found you here, but why are you here?
It was an accident.
We weren't supposed to come this way, but we heard some evacuees that the hospital was in trouble, so we ran as fast as we could. God be good, we made it in time.
Thank goodness.
And on top of that, we found you and Master Adelheid together. It truly is a blessed day, sister. Adelheid does not interrupt the reunion between comrades. She listens to Hildegard as the victorious warrior beams with yet more words of joy and knightly elan, drifting deep into thought. What are you thinking about, Grand Master? Analgesic method. Okay. Although Menace Vindictor has been driven off, the battle has only worsened the hospital condition. Its corridors already crowded and have received a new influx of wounded. Coughs and low groans echo out even past the doors. What knighted soldiers can stand help move the wounded through the hallway in the makeshift something. Makeshift triage. We have to go. We're going to die. A soldier on one of the beds suddenly flashes upright, swiftly past the nurse who is trying to stymie his bleeding. The nurse grips his shoulder and steady him. Another doctor rushes over with several strips of cloth, trying to tie the soldier's arm to the side of the bed. But he only struggles harder. Doctor, he needs a sedative. No, his pulse is too weak. Someone hold him down. Just as the hand covers the armor, reaches in, presses gently on the soldier's forehead. Sister Marsha. The short order, Marsha has made herself indispensable to the staff here as they treat the wounded and dying as best they can.
Don't worry.
I've used my arcane skill to calm his delirium. You should be able to treat him now. She moves between wards, her pale face running damp with sweat. Phew, sister, you arrived just in time. On the bed, the soldier murmurs, softens, and his movements slow. The doctor quickly binds his limbs and begins stitching the wound. Sister Marsha. Marsha then sees Mikhail at the door, accompanied by a woman in a nun's uniform. Marsha checks the soldier for a moment more. When the doctor gives her a nod, she steps towards the door. I am Mother Superior, Irene, and you must be the woman from the Foundation. She takes hold of Marsha's hand with a firm but gentle grasp. God bless you for what you've done here. I've done very little, Reverend Mother. The night of the Hochland order arrived before we did. But more support from the Foundation is on the way. They should arrive before the nightfall. Any help they can provide is already a miracle. There are still so many wounded here. These young men need all the help we can give them. She looks around the hospital, her expression heavy with grief. We had hoped that there would finally be an end to this bloodshed after the armistice, but it seems the war continues, just wearing a different face. With rumors of bandits and violence further east, everyone is worried about their families, but they want to help. They want to bring an end to this violence.
I'll do my best.
I'll see about securing the passage home, Reverend Mother. I'm certain the Foundation will appreciate whatever help they can offer. The nun thanks Marsha once again, but even more effusively than the last time. Mother Irene. A panting nurse rushes down the hallway, holding an empty glass bottle. Ranavifa, there's only one bar left in the warehouse. More bad news arrives, and the dutiful woman responds. She must weigh the value of each resource against the lives and suffering around her. Prioritize surgeries. We need to make this bottle last until the evening. For the others, we'll have to rely on pressure and immobilization. Have we any alcohol left? The nurse nods. A shame it's all evil. More than anything, I think these boys need a stiff drink. But in lieu of that, soak some herbs with it and use them as topical salves. She turns to Marsha. Sister, would you mind relaying the urgency of our situation to the Foundation once more?
Don't worry.
Of course. Marsha looks around the room and sees other knights in silver armor working through their injuries and pain to assist the beleaguered hospital staff. She tightens her trembling hands and makes a resolute decision. Reverend Mother, perhaps there is something more I can do. She's gonna absorb their pain or something like that? Guilt emotions. Okay. Stop pounding. Come on, really? Come here. It lowers. The guilt things lower our stuff, it seems. Almost there. No, damn it, almost. Damn it, down there, two glued together. There we go. Actually, we just need to touch that one. Come on. Alright, we got it. We should be able to get the rest with this. The other one's only 50, so we're good, yeah. Come here. Why are you absorbing guilt, Marsha? Early in the morning, Adelheid moves through the hospital, searching for someone. Sister Hildegard, have you seen Marsha? Hildegard pauses at the question. She's been boarding up the doors and windows since the evening prior.
Huh?
I passed her about half an hour ago. She was coming out of the operating room. Why? I haven't been able to find her.
What's going on?
What's she doing in an operating room? Oh, I can explain. Oh, she was absorbing their pain. Oh my god, she been feeling the surgery? Jesus, man. Nearby nurses pushed the medicine cabinet and braced against the door to join their conversation. After we ran out of anesthetic last night, Sister Marsha offers her arcane skill to help the men through their surgeries. As I saw her, she was headed to the storage room. Adelheid exchanged a knowing look with Hildegard, her brows knit tightly. Do you have any ice, nurse? We need a bucket full of more. Nothing we can spare here, no, but some of the soldiers found an ice room in the cellar of an old building nearby. It was quite large. I think perhaps that was for a restaurant. We've been sending parties to collect ice from it from time to time, but there still should be plenty left. But what do you need ice for?
No need to worry.
Worry not. We'll take care of it. Hildegard, Fetch the knives and bring it to the storage room, now. That foolhardy girl. She pushed herself far beyond her limits, I'm certain of it. I doubt she can even move for all the pain she's taken in. Yeah. Kind of insane, really. As Adelheid enters the storage room, her suspicions are immediately confirmed by the slow, ragged breath that heaves out from the corner. In the room of empty boxes, old sheets and broken things, she finds Marsha curled up in the wall, her eyes shut, tears and sweat from a confluence of rivers as they pour down her cheeks and neck. Marsha! Adelheid hurries to her side and eases her gently to the floor. Just a touch, they can feel the burning heat of radiating from her body. Adelheid,
Leave it to me.
Shh, don't speak. Slow your breathing. There's nothing for it now. You must simply endure. Heidelgard will bring you some ice water. The cold will slow down, just as we used to back home. Do you remember that? I know you always feared the cold, but you have every reason. But you won't survive the heat. Marsha gives a small nod, forcing a faint, apologetic smile.
I understand.
You just won't content until you die a martyr, will you? Why would you do something so reckless? Every time you take in someone else's pain, you put your own life at risk. I know, but have you? Marsha gasps the words between heaves and her voice weak. Adelheid struck with a wave, concern and fury, pity and lastly pride. Had there been no other night in the hospital, Marsha would have looked for other options. But she knew the others would understand what she's done and what to do. It wasn't reckless, it was calculated risk, an act of complete trust in her comrades in arms. Promise me, Marsha. Swear by your oath you will never do this to me again. Marsha! The other knights arrive, hauling a tub and a bucket of ice water, barking orders back and forth as they clear a space for the crowd in the crowded room. Together they lift Marsha and ease her into the icy water. Burning heat hits icy cold. The clash is severe, sharp, painful, sending her into convulsing shivers as she sinks into the tub. Words fall out of breath through their now clattering teeth. Hot and cold slam into one another like a beginning of a cyclone. The pain swirls in her, tearing her thoughts apart as her vision darkens.
Marsha?
She falls back into her abyss. Oh, that crazy girl. Absolutely insane. Stage 7. The Eagle and the Firewood. Absorb all the negative emotions, okay? Basically everything. We start off by the big ones here. I don't know, what does this one do? What? Oh, come on. Okay, that one. Okay, that one diminishes our own. I got it. But it can absorb other things. Becoming bigger as it goes along, it seems. Alright, that's 40. That is good enough for that. Ah, damn it, I want to absorb, and it's gonna absorb that one too. No, it didn't. That's good, at least. We need to get to 50. There we go. Come here. We need to take care of this one. There we go. What's this? Ah, okay, that would have been a lot better, actually. Alright, we're enough. Let's go. There we go. I just need to collect all the rest here. Where are all the others, though? Ah, there's one over there. Oh, okay, we just need to capture the other ones, it seems. The the parasites here. There we go, there's one. It's over there, 48 or 49 or whatever you want when we get to it. Alright, that should be enough. There we go. Yeah. Hurry now, Freya. The Shashin lifts its hooves as it charges into a fierce alpine wind. Above them, an eagle flies, its broad and powerful wings cutting through the sky like a golden arrow.
Look above us. It's wonderful to see Verena flying so high after her recovery.
Marsha gazes at the soaring raptor, her young face lit with excitement. She had found the injured eaglet, beneath a mountain ridge a month ago, and took it under her care. Now, as a gift in honor of the 18th birthday, her charge once again takes flight. A good omen, she hopes, for her own ceremony, where, with the swearing of the sacred vows to the order, on this day, dressed in her finest robes, she'll become a true knight. Today, Freya, I became a knight of the order, sworn to fight in its honor. I submitted the application too, if the Grandmaster accepts, I'll be trained as a pilot. Pilot. She leans down and shares her secret dream with the horse as they ride forward.
I just hope that...
Then I'll fly through the air, like Verena. Right, she did say to Sentinel she wanted to be a pilot, I think. I can't even imagine what it'll be like to see the world from above. They said once you're high enough, the whole world just looks like a moss growing over a rock. The young novice spurs her horse, giving chase with triumphant eagle. She is about to become a knight, and soon a pilot flying over the fields of battle. With the wind whipping past her ears, she feels as if she's already flying, riding the wind through fire and blood, towards her future glory.
Skill and courage alone.
Up there in the
victory
sky.
and defeat.
Up in there in the sky, courage alone decides victory and defeat, just like jousting knights in the old days. Up there, where she can bring victory not only to her order and her nation. She loses herself in the visions of her mind, as she imagines herself as a eagle, looking down at the world as she swoops between the clouds. The boundary between earth and sky dissolves, and her dream feels close enough to touch. Faster, Freya, we have to keep up. The horse answers with a loud neigh. Sounds like an agreement. She races wherever the knight leads them. Swift as a flash, no field is too vast for them. Glory, bravery, loyalty, these are the virtues and the triumphs of a knight. Galloping hard, Marsha believes her path flies wherever those words guide her. At last, the eagle becomes no more than a grey speck in the horizon, and Marsha allows her steed to slow and rest. Her dream flies off in the back of those golden wings until...
Marsha.
There you are, Marsha. Marsha snaps out of her reverie. She dismounts in a flash and rushes towards her teacher.
Adelheid!
Did my reply come? Did the Grandmaster approve my application? Adelheid sighs. I'm sorry, Marsha, but you've been assigned to the 15th Infantry Regiment. You depart in 1 week. Adelheid grips Marsha's shoulders firmly, trying to temper her young novice's enthusiasm with a serious look.
There's nothing romantic about the field of battle, Marsha.
You must be ready to take care of yourself. Oh boy, innocent Marsha before she got sent to war. At the time, Marsha couldn't fully understand the gravity of her mentor's words. Though she did not get to live out her dream, she was still excited to serve her order. Able to finally march on and win glory as a knight. Yeah. Although that really didn't happen, or did it? Marsha wakes in a deep ache in her bones. Her heartbeat drums in her ears. The ice water has done its job, easing the worst of her pain. She lies in a makeshift bed, her sheets, her clothes are nearly already dry. I need to thank Adelheid properly. She sits up, and first thing that meets her eyes is a pair of hands. The nails are uneven, thick calloused over the joints. The dry skin is cracked, and bronze stains linger around the fingertips. They are the hardened hands of a trained knight, reshaped by disinfectant and iodine. Who can check on Ilya? Those wounds may be infected. Marsha steps out of the storage room. I have docking solution here. Marsha returns to her work as though nothing has ever happened, though the words of her mentor linger in the back of her mind.
Don't worry.
Let me clean this wound. She returns to the patient and leaves her past behind. I wonder what she told her then. The stars and the moon hang in the sky above, but there's still no sign of reinforcements or relief as Marsha calls to make her report.
Commander Kreas.
Sir, if possible, I hope the Foundation will be able to transfer the heavily wounded to a safer territory. I will speak with Razor and leave the matter to him. Mr. Razor was supposed to meet me in town this evening, but I haven't been able to reach him. I received a report that he made contact with Manister and Dictate along the way, but as soon as he mops up that little problem, he should arrive at the hospital without delay. Marsha allows herself to relax, tense, aching muscles finally slack, though the change would be imperceptible to most. Good. Then I'll await his arrival. There are some soldiers here from out east, the Dawn region. They heard about the fighting there and wanted to help. Could transportation be arranged? Also, I submitted a request to remain here and assist the hospital staff until the evacuation is complete. Approved and arranged, although I expect you to accompany them on their journey back. The Timekeeper's team will be headed that way as well. Alright, so this is also a prelude, a bit of a prologue to why she went to the Eastern Front. Her next mission is to support the Xeno allies in their fight and rendezvous with Timekeeper's team and assist them in whatever they need. Understood, sir. Hold on, soldier. Mind if I ask about your friends from the Order? They've been staying behind us here as well for the time being. They're working together to get the wounded treated and evacuated safely. Right. Here's hoping that it will mark a change in our rocky relationship. Keep me updated. Yes, sir.
Marsha!
Marsha hears someone calling her name. Not far, several knights sit together in a loose circle, soft laugh drifting from the group. Hildegard waves at her. Feeling better?
Don't worry.
Yes, I'm sorry for making you worry. Hildegard waved her hand.
Thank goodness.
I'm just glad Heidelheim found you when she did. I'm not sure you would have lasted much longer. Marsha sits down beside her. What were you talking about? Old memories, remembering all the chores we had to do when we were novices. Under the night sky, the knight's face lights up as they reminisce.
I still remember.
I remember carrying those bundles of firewood that were nearly as tall as we were. Yeah, it wasn't even our job most of the time. Not every would-be knight had a pure heart. Some of the older novices would often slack off and bully the younger kids doing their work. All the way at the hill, 3 or 4 hours of us at a time, and the bundles would never hold together. I remember we tried to chase the ones that fell as they rolled off the side, tumbling into the woods. The 2 young novices would sit at the edge of the slope and sigh.
But
I always loved the stories you told about them. Those falling pieces were actually adventurous wood sprites that had freed from their roots, and now they were traveling to distant lands. They would talk to the wind and to battle with legions of insects and beasts, float along rivers and eventually rest on the shore, ready for a new journey to begin. What can I say? How about you join a nightly adventure? They laugh together like old friends, like sisters. Under the hospital eaves, the branches of the courtyard act as a silent witness holding on to their memories. A breeze passes through, and their memories drift away, bit by bit, to the night.
I miss those days so much, Marsha. When even the most trivial of things carried an unquestioned meaning. Everything was in perfect order.
Every bundle of wood had its purpose, even if it only means to warm a study room. It should have been as simple as that. At night set out to fight for justice and wander the land, returning laden with treasures and glory. This was the story that they wanted for themselves, back when they couldn't or wouldn't imagine any other end. Have you spoken to Grand Master? I have. We're all concerned with all we should do next.
Marsha, you found your own path, haven't you?
There's a trace of envy in her eyes as she says it. You know, Hilda, ever since I met Adelheid again, I started dreaming of the old days. Marsha opens her hand as if turning the page of a book. Dreams that have left me relieved my past, the good and the bad.
One thing
Relief,
is
I
certain.
mean.
Though I traveled far, I never strayed from the right path.
Seeing things here, I think that's true of the Knights of the Hochland as well. Marsha glances around at the end of her words. Hilda, where's Adelheid? Where is she indeed? Where did she go? Is she still after the treasure, or what is she doing? Last stage, the burden of glory. Marsha finds the knight a short walk from the hospital, sitting in a quiet contemplation at the edge of the field. She sits down near her without intruding. A knight sits among the bending, tall grass like an old stone, as if she had always been there. To sit in silence and set the mind to quiet is an essential virtue of a knight. In contemplation, we may search our resolve and explore the depths of our belief. It was a lecture she had heard before, and the message was clear. So for some time longer they sit together in silence, accompanied only by the rust of the autumn wind.
However...
Without training, we can sometimes forget that we need to use arcane skills to quiet our emotions. Sometimes it's better to do battle with the trouble in our hearts instead of pushing it away. What is it you're fighting, Adelheid? Regret. When I saw our knights outside the hospital, I was relieved, overjoyed to have found some of our lost comrades, but though we saved those people, we left Rejoa. We left mana slip through our hands.
I can hardly believe it.
I cannot find the center between my joy and my despair. Now the path ahead for our order seems more unclear than ever before. You made the right decision based on what we knew. Yeah. I did. And I'm greatly heartened to have found Hildegard and the others. That itself is a blessing.
However...
But they did not come here for me. I didn't know they were here. I didn't even know they were alive. Our order has no home and no direction. It has only magnified my disgrace.
There's no need.
I know the burdens of command weigh heavily on you, sister, but you must not be so harsh on yourself. You were given a responsibility for an organization that was already falling to ruin, and its troubles are not of your making. There is a little solace in that. But though I may not have created these troubles, I have been a steward over them and stubbornly refused to fix them. And I think I found the reason. I am searching for an answer, not just the order, but for my own sake. Who is responsible for the order's downfall? A cruel question. Mas Vindicte? That answer's too easy. To blame an enemy for our downfall is a hollow excuse. I shall blame the Kaiser, the military, the state. How long have we served the rules of this land and never once doubted their authority? But I fear the truth is too simple. The order has grown outdated. The age of chivalry is long gone. And all we have here is a remnant. The horrors of this war come as a long-awaited death knell.
But...
Adelheid raised her hand, stopping Marsha.
Back then...
When they found you in that storage room, I was filled with guilt and regret. I felt the same way the day I heard of your death. I will never regret saving you from that snow, child, but perhaps I was wrong to bring you to the order. You could have lived somewhere happy life with a normal family. Instead, we forced you to suppress your nature, molded you into a warrior, and convinced you that it was your duty to give your life for the sake of your vows. A silent grief strikes Marsha's heart. Adelheid has carried her death all this time.
Adelheid.
I'm sorry to tell you then. I shouldn't have left you carried out guilt.
This is my choice.
I don't regret becoming a knight, Adelheid. My days in the order were given me the most precious gift. It is the character, you, Adelheid, and the order gave to me that escaped me from despair in the face of horror. It is my vows that keep me on my path when the way is narrow and the road unsteady. Marsha turns to Adelheid, closing in towards her, meeting her face. Adelheid replies in a defeated sigh.
I understand.
I can see resolve. Once we brought your temperature down, I left to help the others.
However...
I felt as though I looked away at them for only a moment before you were right back up, tending to the wounded, as if you were forgotten you had nearly died. It kind of parallels that child running away from the mom. You may only have a pauldrons now, but you are a true knight as any of us. A worthy sister of the Hochland Order. Adelheid returns briefly to her contemplation, picturing the knights working tirelessly through the hospital, and Marsha stands among them. So I say to myself, See, Adelheid, chivalry is not faded after all. It can still be a shield that protects the weak and vulnerable in this age. Adelheid turns to meet Marsha's eyes, conviction and pride burning on her face.
Marsha.
As for your proposal, as you mentioned, reimagined the Order, I will consider it. Okay. Good for them, really. The soft golden light of dawn transports the convoy bearing the Foundation's logo arrives outside the hospital. Marsha finishes up her rotation through the ward, but on hearing the noise, she finds an unboarded window and leans out to get a view. Mr. Razor, good to see you finally arrived. The squad captain offers a wordless nod before returning to unloading the vehicle. Behind him, people in grey and white checkered uniforms carry supplies into the hospital as new medics rush into it beside them. Reverend Mother, this is Mr. Razor from the Foundation. Marsha leans Irene over. Mr. Razor, we appreciate Foundation support. Your arrival is a long-awaited godsend.
Don't mention it.
We've got our orders and we'll begin transferring all the heavily wounded out for a safer location.
Be ready.
In 4 days' time, there'll be a train passing through the station nearby. Everyone else is to load up there for evacuation.
Don't worry.
I'll be given permission to remain with you until that time, and once we evacuate, I will accompany the soldiers that wish to keep fighting in the Dawn region. We'll be deploying against the Xeno Cavalry Corps near Belgrade. Wonderful, I'll share the good news immediately. After Irene leaves, Razor turns back to Marsha. I should apologize, we arrived much later than intended. I'm not proud of that. I understand Mr. Kratos informed me of the situation. You were delayed by a man's vindictive.
And?
Ran to one of their convoys along with the way. Oh, he got the fucking treasure, huh? Oh, that's something. It was heavily defended, but we're transporting much interest to you. Marsha's heart skips a beat.
Do you mean?
Follow me, please.
You should gather the knights first. Incredible. Razor squad always coming in clutch. Marsha summons her brothers and sisters, and they follow Razor out the Foundation's parked convoy. Among the familiar liveries of the Foundation, one truck stands apart.
Oh.
A menace truck.
Exactly.
Correct. We already got word that the hospital was secure, so we knew we had an opportunity. We decided to engage them, just to see what was worth all the fuss they put into defending it.
But...
We sent them packing and managed to seize the transport they were protecting, which led to this one. During the inventory, we noticed that many of the items bore the seal of your order, Marsha, so the Foundation authorizes to return these spoils of a Hochland Order.
What?
Adelheid steps forward in disbelief as Razor opens the door to the truck. Inside the dim interior lie dozens of covered paintings, stacks of fonts, stacks of yellowed books and tomes, silverware, and shattered, dust-covered sword.
I can hardly believe it.
The ledger of the Hochland Order, candlesticks from the meeting hall, and a sword forged a pattern of steel rests among them. The hilt is sharpened in black horsehide, the blade fractured into several pieces. The familiar Latin inscription can still be made out along the broken blade. That's Herman's sword, the one that vanished after his death. Adelheid gathers the broken blade into her arms, and her fingers running along the edge lightly as a thin line of blood wells up. A dim dark blue shimmer ripples across the sword. Herman, arcane skill bound the blade and awakened by blood, reveals the truth. Herman used his sword in his fight with the Manus Vindictae, leaving traces of their incantation on it. They must have taken it to hide any evidence of their involvement. A long-rumored secret finally lay itself bare. Behind Adelheid, the knights drive their swords into the earth, hands resting on their hilts, heads bowed in silence. Marsha puts her hands together and offers a quiet prayer for old Grandmaster. We didn't recognize the sword at first, but we found the order name on some of those books and documents, and thought we knew for sure after we saw this. Razor pulls away the velvet cloth covering the painting. After the dust settles, the solemn and sacred past reveals on display for them. Damn, that is not a cool outfit for Marsha. I will say the nice outfit there.
Oh, this is...
That's Marsha's dubbing ceremony. Oh, they actually painted that. That was a painting of her ceremony, huh? I remember he had a painter staying with us at the castle. He painted the ceremony to replace for our hospitality. That was the day Marsha took her vows as a knight. To have such a moment memorialized in painting is a rare honor. Yet, by coincidence, Marsha's knighting was preserved forever. A moment that belonged not just to her, but to all the knights in the order. Every knight once stood at the same place during the dubbing ceremony. They pledged vows before their brothers and sisters, and they waited for the sword, the very symbol of knighthood, to rest upon their shoulders. I vowed to hold the hostel in order and reverence, to defend it faithfully. I vowed to keep this oath without deceit, to heed the statutes of virtue, and to honor the counsel of my brethren.
Bis zum Tage meines Todes.
Marsha murmurs her oath beneath her breath, flooded by the memory.
All the training I've done was in service of that day.
The day I became a knight. In the painting, Marsha's expression is solemn. She wears her ceremonial attire, her folded hands rest on her expression in the glory to come. Countless faces of knights, living and fallen, seem as though they could perfectly overlap with the girl's face. The knights departed from Hans Schultz after the dubbing ceremony, carrying out their duties under the Grandmaster's command.
We looked forward to it.
We looked ahead for our future missions, eager to prove ourselves and return with glory earned by our swords. Until that knightly glory was laid to waste beneath the withering scythe of machine gun fire, now the ones that survived wandered without purpose and around its grave. But the young woman in that painting walks a different path, a narrow one, defied by their vows but no longer constrained by them. A path too small to steer for steeds to charge, too tight for armor to pass. So she releases her horse, lays down her sword, and packs away her breastplate. Yet she keeps the pauldrons. Their silvery steel gleams as a guide, like a north star, a reminder of what matters.
The order.
The Knights of Hoshland must begin anew. As the painting is uncovered, and the distance between past and present clears away the dust of history, it opens a bloody wound left unattended, a rift that has kept her divided and weak. Adelheid removes her cloak and gently covers the broken sword.
I can hardly believe it.
I never would have dared to dream if this sword would be recovered. Stranger still for it to have been found and returned by an organization she had long distrusted. Though the sword is far from our order's most precious relic, it is possible all the items of true value are gone forever. But it doesn't matter. The painting before them once proudly adorned their home's stone corridor. The candlestick once burned in a meeting hall, witnessing the knights' worship and prayer. Apart from that sword, the rest of the items are humble things from the castle. Yet, though they may be of little worth, they are rich in memories. Not all of them glorious, but small, tangible, and real. Yeah, sometimes it's the little things, the everyday items that bring back memories and not the big expensive things, right?
However...
And it's good for a fresh start to have only the humble items, right? Even so, I feel our treasures have been finally restored. Just like the shield Stas gave to Adelheid, the one she carries at her waist.
What defines a knight?
Adelheid asked herself. To uphold our values and never bow to evil, to honor our brethren alive and dead through our words and our deeds.
It's more of a burden than an honor.
You told me that after the dubbing ceremony. Marsha walks up to her mentor and comrade in arms.
Yes.
Yes. A knight's path is not one of extravagance and luxury. We learn to endure hardship and live simply, to keep our minds fixed on justice. Adelheid looks deeply into Marsha's eyes. The future knighthood in her vision stands far right beside her. The answer is within reach. Adelheid turns and faces the others. Brothers and sisters, after we leave this hospital, we will search for our scattered comrades.
Well then.
Along the way, I intend to follow Sister Marsha's advice. The age does not need mounted warriors, but it still needs the order. We will find a new purpose, to help the vulnerable, to heal the sick, and to care for the wounded as we once did, in days of old. The knights will distance themselves from the wicked games of war. We shall return to where we first began.
Von diesem Tage an kämpfen wir nur noch Leben zu retten, vor der Sichel des Todes.
Our efforts will no longer be confined by nationality or creed. A murmur ripples through the nights, yet not a single voice rises in opposition. Marsha listens quietly, surprised. We will follow whatever you lead, Adelheid, but this is a significant change.
Well then.
That may be so, but I am the acting Grand Master. Though is my vision, I will converge a meeting of the Order, so that we might decide our path together. Adelheid looks at Razor.
What if...
If the Order chooses this path, there may come a day we will seek to collaborate with the Foundation, provided the Foundation remains what it is today. The squad member bows his head in respectful agreement.
May the peace be with us.
Sister Marsha, should that they come,
Marsha,
I hope it will be you.
serve as the bridge between the Order and the Foundation.
It was what Kreia said, right? She was the bridge between those two.
I'll do my best.
I will, Grandmaster. The simple words are said as a solemn oath. A breeze sweeps across the plains, carrying the crisp scent of late autumn frost. As it passes through them, it seems to strip away the dust that's gathered on their order. The morning light shines on them, a promise of a new day, a new beginning. Marsha raises her hand before her eyes. The brilliant dawn spills in front of her fingertips.
What a good day it is.
The end. Okay, yeah. I quite enjoyed this. The ending was quite emotional too. It did post the age-old thing, right? The Order of Knights got outdated with the coming of machine guns and modern warfare. So it's good that they did a pivot from violence to helping the needy, as a true knight or order should. Yeah, I quite liked it. It isn't my favorite, but it's pretty high up there, really. I like the parallels of the mother with the kid and the shield right at the beginning, with Marsha and Heidelgard. There, it was not depressing, which is good. It was quite uplifting, actually. A nice change of pace from we saw from others, from other stories from Marsha. So yeah. Thanks. We don't really need to hear you sing right now. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was really good. Marsha's such a good character, man. Honestly, from the 3.x patch cycle, has been nothing but good characters. I like all of them. They're really all great. Let's see, get a few pulls, see if we can get Marsha. I somehow doubt it, but oh well, better than nothing. All right.
Mission accepted.
Yeah. Nope. Hey, Moonleek.
Hi there.
Moonleek.
I am Moonleek.
We got one more pull here. Nah, alright, it's a shame, but it is what it is, right?
Здравствуйте. No.
Let's see if we have, we have enough for 3 more pulls, so I might as well get that one, see if we can get anything. Yeah. Let's grab our thing here. And let's see. Nope.
Hello, I'm Lisa.
One more. Nope. Last one. Nope. Oh well.
This place is quite different from where I
It's a
used
shame,
to live.
but oh well. Nothing to worry about. I'll keep trying. Maybe off camera, maybe not, and see if I can get her. I kind of also want to get Igor. I don't know. I think I want Marsha more for the gameplay aspect, but I kind of want Igor because I like his character. So we'll see if I can get any of them, really. Sometimes the characters I want the most I never get. So yeah, that's gonna be it for now. Next time in reverse, we're gonna go ahead and do the anecdote. That's probably the next thing. The next thing is gonna go. I don't even know whose anecdote it's gonna be. So because I still haven't watched the trailer. By the time I'm recording, the channel is back. So but I haven't still watched the trailer. So maybe I'll watch it in my own time and see what's going on. Other than that, that's gonna be it for now. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time for more Reverse 1999. Ciao.